Hello, Forged family. Alright, I'm gonna be having you guys sit on this coffee cup. So, if I pick it up to sip it and the camera moves up and down, whatever, you guys already know. Okay, so, why is the Forged method so good? Why is our method of training the best way of training, in my opinion? Because other people can have their own opinions on it, but I think this is literally the best form of training you can do. So, bodybuilders are strong, but they're big and their tendons don't match with their size. So they're limited to bodybuilder movements. They're limited to machines and probably 8 to 12 rep range in whatever they do, but their strength doesn't carry over outside of that. Their tendons are weak, their muscles are strong, so they're going to get injured faster, and they'll look good, but they won't be able to perform how they look. Whereas calisthenics athletes have that tendon strength. They have that ability to perform movements that require an insane amount of tendon strength, insane amount of scapula strength and mobility, while also being really strong pound for pound, right? So they can do explosive muscle ups, planches, all of this, L-sits, handstand push-ups. All of this stuff not only requires coordination, but also pound for pound strength and mainly tendon and bone strength as well. So, why is our method the best? Because, well, let me get this out of the way. We're not bodybuilders. We don't train like bodybuilders, but we train for anything. So we train for war. We train like warriors, basically. So think about how a soldier would train in the military, right? We train like that, but we're highly specialized, and we're specialized for the better. We specialize our grip strength because we know that grip strength is needed not only to lift heavy, but lift heavy for a long time, have excellent endurance with upper body lifts, and it helps us boost our calisthenics ability as well. Because if you haven't noticed, calisthenics athletes are superior for their static grip endurance. I wouldn't say they're crushing grip endurance because they don't specialize, but their static grip endurance is insane. One arm pull-ups, dead hangs for minutes. I mean, it's there, you can see it. And clearly grip strength is the most important thing among all. So I believe that our method here at Forged Grip Athletics is the best because we're training every angle. It's kind of the same thing as training your body, right? You don't want to just train one portion of things. You don't want to just train for size. You also want to train your muscles to be strong, not just big. And you also want to train your tendons underneath to be strong so you can perform like a lightweight, or you can perform whatever you want, really. So I'd say we specialize in the most important thing, but it's not that everybody else is wrong if they don't choose to pursue our method, but they specialize in something that leaves them with nowhere to go outside of that specialty. And it's very similar with career paths. These people, they hyper specialize in plumbing, for example, but they have no idea about any other trade. Or if you specialize as a teacher, you're not going to make a good pilot, right? And I'm not saying that we are the best at everything, but we are so balanced and so good at everything that we can continue to program our bodies and eventually become the best at nearly everything. So, for example, you're not going to see a calisthenics athlete strict curling 200 pounds with his back against the wall with an easy bar, whereas our method allows you to do that and do no dip muscle ups and do planche leans and do 150 pound push-ups and do like a 405 pound bench, but also have the athleticism of David Goggins, where you can but you can jog for miles. And this all may sound crazy, but then this also isn't something that I've completely invented. I've iterated on it, but this is something that everybody is capable of. It just takes an insane degree of work ethic. It is very hard to grow your tendons especially at a heavy weight, and that's why people stray from it. And it's easier to just specialize as a power lifter or a strongman or a bodybuilder, or only do grip strength stuff but don't work on anything else. That's wrong. That is not the forged method. That's not the forged way of training in this university. It is going to be difficult. It is going to be very difficult. You might get injured. I've already gotten injured. This is because we're reprogramming our skeleton. We're reprogramming the base, the engine that's underneath us. One more analogy. Strong men have an insanely powerful engine. They have insane horsepower, but the gas doesn't last long. So they're able to put all of this effort into one lift, or one lift for a short period of time, and then they're gassed out. And that's most of their strength, is in that first set or that first rep, right? Or that first lift. After that, they start to gas out and they don't have much strength left. That's why when you watch these World's Strongest Man live streams or whatever, like I do sometimes, like the Rogue ones, World's Strongest Woman, World's Strongest Man, it's because they try to lift and they get it good the first time, but let's just say that they fail that first rep. It's going to be significantly harder for them to put the same amount of quality, if not impossible, to put the same amount of quality into that second, third, fourth rep. They have a really strong engine, but they use so much gas, right? Whereas calisthenics athletes, they have a very powerful engine, but nowhere near as powerful as a strongman. And they have longer lasting gas than the strongman. So they're kind of like that balanced out strongman, but they're not powerful enough. They don't have the raw horsepower to lift those heavy ass weights. They have just enough horsepower to maneuver their own weight, but anything outside of themselves, anything outside of their own weight, they wouldn't be able to compete on the same level as a strongman. So the thing that separates us as people from a car, obviously, is not only the fact that a car is an inanimate object that we use to travel and we're actual living beings that can adapt in real time, but that exactly. We are actual human beings that can adapt in real time. We are the most intelligent species that we know of, and we can train our brains to do anything. You really can be a powerful sprinter. You can be a heavyweight calisthenics athlete, and you can do strongman feats, if not better feats than strongman over time. All you need to do is have the right systems in place, and you need to know what you're training for. It's all in the grip strength. It's all in the grip strength and cardiovascular endurance, if I'm being completely honest with you. And this is why we don't talk about machines, because machines aren't going to train you for that real world strength, and that real world strength is what's going to carry over to calisthenics, and those calisthenics is what's going to carry over to your tendons, and your tendon strength is going to carry right back over to your real world strength and then back around, and it's an endless cycle. But if you hyper specialize on just real world strength, for example, it's probably not going to carry over to anything else because you're just doing that. Or if you just do tendon strength conditioning, but you don't train your tendons to be mobile with your body, pound for pound, calisthenics wise, then you're going to be really strong in real world lifts, but you're not going to be really strong in your calisthenics because you haven't trained your mind to utilize your muscles, your connective tissue, in anything but the lift itself. It's actually not even almost. It is exactly like Bruce Lee statement, where he fears someone that practiced the same move 10,000 times over someone that practiced a bunch of different moves a few hundred times. It's because it's refined. But if you practice everything 10,000 times, it's going to take a longer time, but you will be refined in everything. This doesn't go for jobs, for example, because we have time at our necks. I mean, time is a very powerful resource. But when it comes to fitness, our bodies either evolve or die. right? So I believe in the method and the way that we train. And if you train in any other way, I don't believe it's as optimal as the way that we train. I don't believe that if you want to be very strong with your body weight, with lifts, and with cardio in a very impressive, super strong way, that any other way is better.